Hey there, welcome back to the Smell of Logic channel. I am Ramona, and today's Reddit story is going to be, have you ever met someone who didn't quite feel human, like they were a spiritual guide or an angel in disguise, or some kind of messenger? And OP, their original post is, this might sound wild, but a couple of months ago I went for a walk in the woods to clear my head. I was going through a bit of a spiritual funk, nothing specific, just that heavy, disconnected feeling where even meditating feels like you're just sitting there with static in your head. Anyway, I found this quiet spot off trail, sat down with my journal, and just let go. I didn't even notice the guy until he spoke, just standing there like he came out of nowhere. Older, soft voice, calm energy. We ended up talking for maybe about 20 minutes, and I swear everything he said felt like it was aimed directly at what I'd been struggling with. Stuff I hadn't told a soul. He never even gave a name. He didn't ask anything from me. Just talked, nodded, smiled, and said something like, "You're closer than you think." Then he just left. I looked away for like 2 seconds, and when I turned back, he was gone. No trail sounds, no crunching leaves, nothing. I've replayed it 100 times. Part of me thinks I imagined it, but another part is like, no, that was real. Something happened. Whether it was a guide, a test, or just a perfectly timed stranger, I don't know, but I haven't looked at the world the same way since. So I wanted to ask, have you ever had an encounter like that? Someone just showed up out of nowhere, said or did something that felt divinely timed. I'd love to hear your stories or how you interpreted stuff like that. So here go the replies. People in touch with their higher self come across as spirit guides or angels, even though that isn't their intention. I agree with you that these experiences are amazing. Good luck and have some fun with the rest of your journey. I certainly have. I recall a couple of years ago that when I started my spiritual walk. I stepped into a sauna that had a public gym, and an old native man said, "Hey, I've been waiting for you. I'm glad you finally showed up." We had an amazing talk. He made me feel like I was right at home. He shared good words. I saw him about a year later in a restaurant. He said, "Just keep walking with what you're doing." I later found out that he was an old addition to the restaurant, and it said, "Just keep walking, you're doing it." I found out later he was an old sorry, I misread that. I found out later he was an old addiction counselor I used to work with for my tribe, and now he was just a hermit, a recluse who lived up in the mountains. Sorry, I got a little confused there. I don't think I've ever met such a person. I did once think an artist might be an angel on earth here to spread love through music, but to be fair, I was on mushrooms at the time. I just thought it was interesting how the visuals often got so bright and beautiful when she sang. Yes, I am seemingly one such person, but from my view, definitely my best friend. Unbelievable that she even exists and is infinitely beautiful. Yeah, help was always at hand and it was weird. Never actually non-human or something like that though. Just necessary for my well-being. I met a very spiritual, brilliant intersex person. Their vibe was truly unique in an unexplainable way. In general, people who appear to be one sex use those light codes. They follow predictable patterns that are similar between humans. This person was different. Like they could hold the entire XY strain of thoughts and the entire XX strain of thoughts and compare them and see nuances that I think their unique DNA potentially assisted them with. This person was truly unforgettable. I've been with them in ring restaurants they haven't been to in years, and old employees recognize them like it had been only 5 minutes. It was like people woke up more when they were around. They are a truly unique person. It was just different being around them. I was once I was once crying in my car, and a random Rastafarian got in my car and consoled me. Once I was on a flight and a lady was asked to move to my seat. She was a psychic and started telling me stuff about my dead friend, messages from my grandfather, etc. I am fully convinced that I met Odin once. I was doing my thing at work when this guy walked with a cane, complimented my raven tattoo, and said I had two real ones of my own. I paused and had a point blank and said, "Are you Odin?" And he winked and said, "Well, I am blind in one eye," and just walked off. So yeah, I don't know if that was meeting, since that was the only deity I'd ever followed was Gaia, but there you go. I always feel that way about stray dogs, like there was something so special about them. They seem so full of love in a world that threw them away. Yes, I triggered a memory. I'm going to write about it in a post below. Thank you for your inspiration to others. But there's no post. So, like 10 or 15 times now, and they all look into my eyes with the exact same look. Like, you know exactly what's going on here, and I'm not going to say it out loud. There was just this twinkle in their eyes. They might as well wink and shove their elbow at me like a cartoon character. It makes me feel good and close to someone when they also feel incredibly stupid, or as if I should know their name or something. It's a strange feeling every time. I always want to ask, "Do you know me?" I've had so many encounters like this, but also one exactly like this that also happened in a forest right after I had prayed. Sometimes ordinary people are inspired in divine ways during crucial moments to serve others and operate as angels in times of need. I believe we are here to serve each other and are sometimes divinely energized. I'm looking back at my past, but now I'm realizing that my grandmother was my messenger, and she still watches and guides me, sending messages through objects. Whenever I think of my grandma, I just see warm white light shining. I was around maybe 8 years old, but she was this cozy, but she has this cozy corner in her house. There's a blue sofa where we would sit reading newspapers or a book. I would sometimes go up to her and just sit beside her. Her voice was warm and comforting and welcoming. Just every word that came out of her was with confidence and guidance to me. I was such a little kid, but I really felt her ethereal presence, like as if I was being embraced by a warm soul. I didn't fully understand the story she would tell me, but I remember clearly that I just felt seen and understood, even if my little kid brain was only so worried about what was the next game I should play. I am so forever grateful she's with me, watching me. It makes me feel less alone. You sharing this experience makes me realize that I take life too seriously in the sense that I don't look for magic as much as I used to. I want to reclaim that part of me. I appreciate and seek out the whimsy. Yes, there were many times I was going through something mentally, and then I would see or overhear a person speaking, wearing something symbolic that felt like guidance being sent from someone higher. It sounds wild typing it out, but it happens. It's the most surreal thing ever. I live in NYC too, which is a busy and distracting city. So for me, whenever things specifically catch my attention like that, I feel like it is meant for me to pay attention to. Baker, and I've had the experience of sitting or in meetings asking a question in my head when somebody has has felt moved to get up and say the very thing I was asking about. Quakers believe that Quakers believe there is that of God in everyone, but more than that, they believe that everything can be divinely inspired. New light can come from another person, a book, a video, anywhere and anything. Again and again, I have discovered the answer to something I have been thinking and wondering about in a book that has happened to be donated to the local charity shop in perfect timing. Yes, and then the conversation I had sent me straight into a, oh goodness, Kundalini? I would do anything to find them again, but I don't know what the universe has planned. Every person I met is an angel in disguise. Sometimes people are messengers and they don't even know it. God will time them just right and have them say exactly what you need to hear. There are no coincidences. If this was an actual angel, super cool. Either way, it was brought to you by a higher source. I guess maybe this doesn't count, but like myself, a lot of people say I've completely changed their outlook and that I look at things like some detached immortal looking from afar. Truthfully, I think it is the consequence of gnosis, or enlightenment, if you actually embody and practice it without any restraint. The issue is people think you are crazy and have to have constantly speaking on terms divergently and with an amount of wisdom that most people are not putting effort into. If you want to be this person, I promise it is a matter of shifting your own essence, in my opinion. I asked a 3-year-old, "Do you remember when you were big?" He shook his head yes. He was playing with a small truck. He lifted his head up and looked at me. His eyes changed. The pupils dilated and they were black pools. The kid was no longer there. In his place was Soul, an old ancient sage. There was an all-knowing power in front of me. He said, "I like the fact that I create my own reality." He knew I was about to question him. He cut me off by saying, "I want you to leave now," which I did. The kid then returned. Not though I have had dreams where my spirit guides and guardian angels communicated with me in meditative experiences, where I literally felt their hands touch my head. But I feel as if some people I come across seem to treat me as such even though I'm having or trying to have a regular conversation with me and not even saying anything crazy. I think that you expand your spiritual awareness. You have experiences like yours, or sometimes you come across people who feel the weight of your presence and unintentionally freeze up or get shaky or hesitate when you're trying to communicate with them, not due to disdain, but due to the intensity of your energy, along with the divine protection you carry, and them not being used to it. You also come across people who just automatically gravitate towards you and just feel as if they can open up to you about anything and everything, even after the first convo, because in the same reasons I mentioned for the other types of souls you can come across. On the day of the death of my father, I miraculously met a woman who supported me that day and even let me stay at her house over the night. I never met her again after that. So cool. I just met one the other day. This one was cool because I knew it was when I met him, and I kind of said so in an indirect way. It has been some 10 years since the last one. Yes, and I was trying to do something stupid, and there she was, all of a sudden, a woman searching for her daughter out of nowhere. We talked a bit, and she went off to search further. So I tried to do the stupid thing again, and there was this older lady again, huh? So yeah, at the moment I understood that I was not supposed to do the thing I wanted. Much later, I understood that it must have been my spirit coming into physical form to protect me. That sounds like a truly profound experience. It's amazing how the universe can send us messengers when we need them the most. I believe that sometimes these encounters are meant to remind us that we are never alone on our spiritual journey. Trust in the signs and guidance you receive. They are there to help you navigate through life's twists and turns. Embrace the wisdom and comfort that this mysterious encounter brought to you, and allow it to fuel your intuition and growth. So there you go. I hope you have enjoyed these little stories, these encounters that people have had with something otherworldly. Let's just leave it there. Whether you believe they're messengers, guardian angels, your inner self, whatever. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you enjoy reading or coloring, go check out my Amazon authors page. There's links in the description of every single video. And until next time, I appreciate you watching and listening, and we'll talk to you later on. Bye.